One Night Stand official trailer. Nothing felt wrong at first, it was just a sentence that didn't make sense. Then another. Then another. And suddenly, nothing made sense anymore. It starts quietly. A word you don't recognize. A phrase that sounds familiar but feels off. You ignore it. Your brain tries to fix it, to rearrange it into something logical. That's what we do. We search for meaning even where there is none. But what happens when the meaning never comes? That's when the confusion begins. At first it feels like a joke. Random voices, broken lines, pieces of conversations that don't connect, different languages blending into each other, words that shouldn't exist together, somehow sitting in the same sentence. You listen again, thinking maybe you missed something. Maybe there's a pattern. Maybe there's a story hidden underneath all the noise. But the more you listen, the less you understand. And that's when it becomes uncomfortable. Because your mind doesn't like disorder. It doesn't like chaos. It wants structure, clarity, direction. It wants answers. So it starts working harder. It tries to connect unrelated pieces. It builds meaning where there is none. It creates a story out of fragments. But what if those fragments were never meant to be connected? What if the confusion is the message? Think about it. Every line feels incomplete. Every sentence sounds like it belongs somewhere else. Names appear without context. Places exist without explanation. It's like listening to 10 different stories at the same time, but only hearing one word from each. And yet, something feels familiar. That's the strangest part. Because even in the chaos, your brain recognizes patterns. It hears tones. It feels emotion. It senses intention. Even when the words fail, something still reaches you. And that's where it gets. What if this disconnected reality is just a reflection of how we think? Because if you really listen closely, our minds are not that different from this noise. Random thoughts, unfinished ideas, voices overlapping, memories mixing with imagination. Nothing truly linear. Nothing perfectly structured. Just fragments. And maybe that's why it feels so real. Because deep down, it is. The unfinished conversations, the echoes of confusion, the noise that feels like meaning. It's not coming from somewhere else. It's coming from you. And once you realize that, there's no going back. Because now, every word you hear will feel uncertain. Every sentence will feel incomplete. Every silence will feel louder than sound. And you'll start to wonder, was there ever meaning to begin with? Or did we just create it because we were afraid of the silence? That's the question that stays with you, long after the words are gone, long after the noise fades. Because, in the end, it's not about understanding the message, it's about realizing there might not be one at all. Because now you're not just listening, you're interpreting. You start filling the gaps. You start creating connections that were never there. You begin to believe that there is a hidden meaning, a secret message, something deeper than what's on the surface. But is there? Or is your mind just refusing to accept that sometimes there is nothing to understand? This is where reality begins to slip. Because when meaning disappears, control follows. You no longer trust what you hear. You question every word, every sound, every pause. You rewind, replay, analyze, again and again, searching for something that makes sense. But the truth is, it never will. Because this isn't a story with a clear beginning or an ending. This is something else, something unfinished, something that exists between words and silence. And maybe that's the point. Because not everything is meant to be understood. Some things are meant to be felt, experienced, questioned, not solved. But we don't like that. We want answers, we want closure, we want everything to make sense. So we keep listening, we keep searching, we keep trying to decode something that refuses to be decoded. And slowly, without even realizing it, we become part of it. Our thoughts start to mirror the chaos. Our sentences become incomplete. Our ideas lose direction. We start speaking in fragments, thinking in fragments. And then, one moment, it hits you. What if the confusion was never outside?